So as you can tell from the title of the video, unfortunately, we were writing a musical called The Final Stand. The TikTok ban kind of ruined that. It's been a little hard to deal with, but we're getting through it. I'm just kidding. We're right here. We're not going anywhere. Now is a good time to go ahead and introduce you all to my collaborating team. So we'll start over here with Will.
Hey everyone, my name is Will. I'm also known as AC on the Discord. I manage a lot of things on the Discord and social media wise. I also help out with the music, and I'm generally here for whatever Connor needs whenever he's away.
I'm Ethan, also known as LJ Speedwagon on the Discord, and I just kind of oversee the art and design of the whole project, and of course I help with music too.
I'm Joel. I help with lyrics and some of the music, and I handle the financial end of things.
I'm Christian. Primarily I've been hanging out a lot on Discord and have now sort of been put into the role of manager with Will. We all are kind of involved in the music, but in particular I like to go through everything and write little notes down onto the doc. So that's kind of...
He's our note maker.
Yeah.
I'm Olivia. I also help out with the music, obviously. I am the sound engineer and the tech designer for The Final Stand, and I've also been helping out with the Discord staff stuff as well.
Okay, so that's the team. You now know everybody. I'm Connor, as I said before. I'd like to talk about a little bit of what's been going on with TikTok. Obviously, we have, talk about the TikTok ban in our intro a little bit. What have we been doing on TikTok? So let's go through that. So first and foremost, we started posting about a month and a half ago. December 1st is when we posted our first video. Since then, we've gained 53.4 thousand followers. We've had a great experience on TikTok.
We initially came out of a hiatus, which I think is pretty important to talk about.
Yeah, we actually have been writing this for 3 years, I think, is our anniversary Friday.
You've been involved 3 years. The collaborators kind of got in on the 2-year mark whenever you were starting to realize this was more what you wanted to do, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
With TikTok.
Yes. So then we went on the hiatus. We did post for a little while. I think we hit around 10,000 followers or 15,000,
something
like
it was like
that.
11 or 12.
Yeah, and we had been posting for months at that point. So when we took off in our first month, we were ecstatic, I think is a pretty good word.
Yeah. We were not prepared.
No,
it took us by storm.
We got the amount of followers in the old account that took, a year to get in a month? So, but more though.
Oh,
wow. We have like 5 times the amount we had that month. So.
We already had a crazy, awesome community on Discord, which has just grown exponentially since the musical came back.
What are we at now? I think we're like 5 away from 3,000.
We're like a couple away.
So while recording this, we're only a few away from 3,000, and it's been amazing, awesome, all those other describing words things. It's been a huge experience for us. So talking about the Discord, what is our favorite thing about the Discord? Mine personally, I'm going to steal it because I know this is going to be everybody's answers. My favorite is fan art.
Yep.
Okay. My favorite personally is the fan art. The fan art section is my favorite section to go. I check it all the time. It's great.
Yeah. In particular, I'm really proud of just like how the mod team has really cultivated a really warm and accepting community.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to find that kind of thing nowadays. So
it's
really impressive. So hats off to the Discord staff.
I think that's like not just with the mod community. Yeah, the mod made that community, and I think that's probably my favorite aspect of it because there's so many people in the Discord right now. And no matter what channel you go to, there's someone talking, and it's like you're never alone in there.
And it's just a great community. Like I personally, I'm making the thing, but I love being a part of the community. Like it's seriously, someone asked me on TikTok yesterday actually, what's your favorite part of writing the musical? The people. That's my honest opinion, and my honest answer to that is the people. I mean, it's been awesome.
I really like the clans that are forming. This is
clans.
a plug. This is a plug. All the yellow tans out there, what's up?
Yep. It's an awesome place, guys. If you're not in there, make sure to go join that. It is seriously one of the most fun places you'll be online. This is going to be our first really long video form on YouTube, and this is a precautionary measure for if TikTok does go away. But I mean, I think this is better content than TikTok provides anyway, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
And you all can let us know what you think about that down in the comments. If you've seen our TikTok, if you like this form better, this way is a little more personal, and it's a little more fun for us, and it's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. So so that covers what we've been doing for the past few months. Let's talk about the future. So what does the future hold?
We're fast tracking progress on the first album, or at least the first release.
Yes.
And that's what we're really, really laser focused on right now. So right now there are, I believe, 33 songs completed that we all have in a Google Drive. We're especially focusing on the first 14, which goes up to where the Spartans are leaving Sparta. And we're really, really, really trying to just make those pristine in terms of their individual musical identities and how they're coalescing into a greater project.
Yeah.
Just so it's the best possible thing to send out.
So what we're looking at right now is 3 separate albums. The first album is while they're preparing for the war. The second album is going to be while they're going to war. And then the third album is really going to focus on the aftermath of the war. And, this opens so many opportunities for creative liberties and stuff. Mm-hmm. And speaking of creative liberties, we've added a lot of the gods into the show. Yeah. That has been probably my favorite part musically, getting to explore that field. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up. We're super excited for the future. We're hoping to release Audition soon, which we have not really figured out how we're going to do that without TikTok, because we were going to do that in a duet style. We are going to work on that. So that's what the future looks like for us, guys. We're super excited for it. So I think this is a good time to, kind of talk to you all a little bit more about who your favorite character is. So since we started with you, Olivia, we're going to start with you this time. So who's your favorite character in the musical so far?
My favorite character is Gorgo.
Okay.
I just really like her. She just seems like such a strong character. I really like the songs that she sings and stuff like that.
So Gorgo is the name of Leonidas' wife, and she is, like Olivia said, a super strong-willed character, and you'll see that represented in the music. She's an awesome character.
Mm-hmm. It's Apollo, easily.
Easily Apollo.
Yeah, I just like watching the characterizations develop out of sort of mythology and into Connor's own unique vision has been really interesting, especially Apollo, because he sort of seems really, really headstrong about what he wants to do. Yeah. He's trying to face Ares head on, which he knows he's not capable of doing, so he's like,
especially not alone.
Yeah. So,
which is actually how another character gets brought in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a great observation there, Mr. Notemaker.
Yeah.
Joel, who's your favorite character, man?
My answer shifts from time to time. Right now, I think it's Cyrus.
Okay, yeah.
That's a deep cut. Y'all ain't gonna know about Cyrus for a little while.
It's a little while, but Cyrus has a song, or there's a part in it that just scratches my brain in the right place.
You can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I feel like Cyrus is kind of the only real light character that we have right now. Like everyone's kind of doomy and gloomy, and Gorgo's really sad. She's not like angry all the time, but she's really emotional in her songs. Cyrus is kind of just like
That's my kind of music. I love the upbeat.
And that being said, we do have upbeat, doomy, and gloomy music, but he's kind of funny. Like I personally, I wrote him, but I personally think he's funny. Mm-hmm. He kind of just has this unserious facade about him that I love. So my favorite character is 100% Ares. It shifts from Ares to Hades, like he said, it shifts sometimes. Ares not only has been the favorite character for me to write and sing and all that kind of stuff, but I just love Ares as, who he is. I absolutely adore Ares as a character. His songs have been incredible to write, just deep diving. Villains are always my favorite, but deep diving into Ares' mind and thinking about what he would be thinking about. I love Ares. So, Ethan, who's your favorite character, man?
I kind of agree with Joel. It really shifts a lot of the time, especially continuously listening through the songs. Yeah. Apollo is a really good answer, but I think I'm gonna have to say Athena for right now.
Okay.
I really like the dialogue between her and Apollo and how she feels about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Mainly just in the first album is really when she is working through all that.
It's so hard to figure it out too. I think we've gone through so many lyric changes of Apollo, and specifically Apollo and Athena talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because trying to get that dynamic right in a way that it's accurate to the source material, but also transformative.
I mean, they're both extremely intelligent characters. So trying to make the lyrics.
And I think that goes for any of the gods. I mean, how do you put a group of divine beings and not make one seem less than the other? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a hard task
especially
to do.
When Ares is just a giant figure that's sort of looming over the entire show. He seems bigger than everyone else.
Yes. Yeah. And Athena's a really good answer. For me personally, I love Athena because she's sassy, and that's the way I wrote her. But you'll see those moments later on. But she is kind of sassy, and I love that.
I love her lyrics.
I
like the way her flow is.
Yeah. She is definitely a good character to answer for that. So, Will, you're the last one, man. Who's your favorite character?
So mine does shift as well, and it definitely changes day by day as I listen to the music. My favorite has to be, I think, Aphrodite, just for the specific song, Stay With Me. There's a funny story about that. I remember the day you showed us the beginning of that.
I wish I would have recorded it.
It
I
was so fun. It was one of the first times in this early new, post-hiatus time that we really locked in. We're like, this is awesome.
At this point, we hadn't even posted anything on TikTok yet. So, like, we didn't know that this was going to get big, So it was just like, this is just a thought at this point. The music was like, it was leading up to something bigger. And everyone was waiting for that moment. Yeah. And then the song Stay With Me hits. And their faces, I wish I had on photo. Because I would print it out and keep it in my house. It was the best thing ever. And since then, I don't think you've had that big of a reaction to a song.
I think that's like the new sort of musical language that we're like going towards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you could see that in the really early drafts of the third album stuff that you've been showing us.
Yeah, we are leaning more towards the Aphrodite part that Will is talking about here is more rap, R&B, pop kind of thing. We do have some like heavy rock stuff. We are leaning more towards the R&B rap kind of stuff just because that's what I'm most used to as a writer.
It's a little this, little that, but you have experience in that field.
For those of you that don't know, I signed to a record label when I was 17, but about 4 years before that, I started my SoundCloud rapper phase. and then I signed to a record label when I was 17. We started making some real stuff. And that's when I was like, okay, this actually might be something I could develop and use in real life. Follow-up question to that. Do any of you have a favorite song that does not include your character?
I do.
Okay.
My favorite song is Heroes. I just really enjoy how the music, the vibe of the music is. Like, I think it's such a powerful song, and Gorgo's not in that at all.
Yeah.
So
Heroes is sang by Aries.
Yeah.
And he is the only one that sings throughout that entire song. Is there a specific part, or do you just love the entire song?
I just love the entire song. I really like, it's kind of like a march almost, and I just really enjoy, like, Aries is the god of war, and the fact that it's like a march is just
on brand.
On brand for Aries.
All right, so we're going to take a listen to Heroes now, which is your favorite song that does not include your favorite character, which is Gorgo. So we're going to start here at the pre-chorus.
I get tired of my games, they don't agree with my ways, but have they forgotten who I am? Oh, they wanna start a fight, wanna play with mortal life, wanna step in the arena that I built. War's a siren that calls out my name, and I answer her call. The mortals want peace without pain.
What do we like specifically about that track?
I really like the snare drum. Like I said before, that it sounds like a march to me, and I just think that it's just really on brand for Aries for him to have like a powerful snare drum coming in, and that's the march. That's the march of war. Like that's the snare drum of war. It's just really cool.
So that was a very very easy choice for Aries. So my favorite thing personally, and I don't know if a lot of you all have really noticed this, but in the pre-chorus, after he starts singing dun 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 dun, I love that. Like I literally love that. It is one of my favorite parts, not just in that song, but in the musical. It fits so well with what he's saying. Like I love that part.
Yeah.
Compliments to the chef, whoever that is.
I don't cook.
You cooked with that one though.
Oh, we got heat, bruh. Some might say it's burned.
That's my favorite song.
Oh,
That's not Cyrus.
that's not Cyrus. Okay, so you like Burn.
Burn.
Do you like Burn features two main gods, Ares
Yes.
and Apollo. Which part do you like? Apollo's.
Because Ares has his like declaration, right? And then it's a total switch up.
Yep.
Suddenly it's just like.
Do you like, so I know a few of us here really like the dialogue that Apollo has. Is that one of your favorite parts, or do you like when he goes into like the fancy vocal stuff?
Love the vocals.
The vocals?
Okay. Vocals.
Well, I think it's just like the sort of tone that Apollo has is so distinct from everyone else. Like when Apollo's singing, you know it's Apollo singing.
Yeah.
You know? He has his specific style of communicating.
All right, so we're going to start with the second half of Watch It Burn. which is where Apollo completely takes the song from Ares. I see this as a power move. Me personally, I see this as a power move. He completely steals the song from Ares.
Yeah, well, for context, it's Ares. I'm just gonna little BTS. One of the oracles of the gods comes to the ephors of Sparta, who are sort of like the political masterminds, I believe, of the territory or country, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And the oracle is saying, like, basically there's nothing they can do against this fight with Persia. They're just completely screwed. And it's sort of implied that maybe, like, we don't know exactly what god is communicating this. It's just the oracle saying this.
Yep.
But through dramatic irony, the audience knows, oh, that's Ares saying all this. And
Yep.
Apollo, the actual patron god of Sparta, is watching and is like, okay, I can't let this fly. Like he's basically pretending to be me. You know, he's stepping in.
So here we go.
You're to tell your king he'll watch it burn. He cannot be serious. Watch it burn. Why can't I just have anything of my own? Apollo. So let me get this straight. So the god of war thinks that they won't fight. So the god of war thinks that it's the night, and that I won't see when he comes for me. Yeah, he came for me. When will he realize there are other gods than him? When will he realize we won't stand for this again? And it's all for fun, it's all for one. Selfish ways.
That is the Apollo snippet. We don't want to show you the entire Apollo part just yet, and we are planning on extending this part for Apollo just because it is his introduction song. But we have to do him justice as the god of music. And right now his part's sitting at about a minute. And his intro just has to be longer. It just has to be. Okay, so does anybody else have a song that does not include their favorite character in it?
I do.
Okay.
So I talked about how I love Poseidon. He's not my favorite, but Outrun This Storm, specifically the beginning, I think they've not heard it all. Yep. I really like the beginning. I mean, the chorus is the best part, in my opinion. But
so let's talk about Poseidon as a character a little bit. So for me, Poseidon is definitely up there in my I'd say top 3 favorite characters.
Yeah, me too.
And the reason for that is Poseidon is super chill. Up until you mess with his territory.
Yeah.
Like, this is my kingdom. This is what I rule. This is what I do. You mess with that, you will lose. You know, kind of thing. And he's like, in the song, and we've shown the snippet on TikTok, and we'll show a little bit of it in the snippet that we're about to listen to. But in the song, he's talking to Xerxes, but not directly. And he's saying, you can be a god if you want to be. You can call yourself whatever you want, but leave my sea to me. And that's his whole persona throughout the show is you can claim to be whoever you want. You could even claim to be the god of gods or the king of kings like you do. I don't really care, but leave my sea to me. That's his whole thing, and that's why he's one of my favorite characters.
I think the music reflects that. I mean, this first snippet that we're going to show you is really chill.
Yeah. And
it shows that chill side of Poseidon. I think that a lot of portrayals actually have. I think of like Percy Jackson, like the musical.
Yep.
He's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, and he's like,
yep.
I like that.
The beginning's honestly kind of beachy.
Yeah, for real. That's what made me think of it. It's like, this is like a chill vibe, and he's like...
something in the beginning, so you'll hear this in a second, but it starts out with this really like piano, cut and dry piano kind of thing, and then when he gets serious, it goes into this one long bass note, like on the piano, and it just leaves that. So it's got this really nice boom, brum, brum, and it's really cool, and then when he gets serious, it shows that in the music, and that is one of my favorite parts, and I loved writing that section too. It was definitely one of the most, actually both Poseidon songs were two of the most fun songs I've written so far. All right, so this is the beginning of song 20, Outrun This Storm.
I gave him a warning. I gave them all a sign, but they want to ignore me. That's fine. Now he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know what I can do. What I will do. You think the sea will give think that you can win the race. Haven't you heard them say before? You can't outrun a storm.
So just a little disclaimer here, that is not my voice. We've heard my voice from the Airy snippet, but that one specifically is not my voice. So
Connor, whose voice is it then? Could you explain?
So that's actually another thing that we need to talk about. That is actually an AI vocal. So what happens is I upload my voice to a site, and it outputs into a different voice. And the reason we do that kind of stuff is because as of right now, it's just me singing the tracks. People get tired of my voice. I personally get tired of my voice. And at the end of the day, it's really hard to differentiate characters. If you have a song, there's one song in particular that has 6 different characters, all of them being my voice, except for one. And it is very hard to tell who's speaking or singing at that point. So that's the main reason for it. And then also just to show you all what it would sound like if someone else was singing it. Because I don't claim to be, the best singer in the world. I'm not saying that AI voices are better than me, but...
Yeah, in this instance, it is a tool to help realize what could come.
So it definitely helps with the creative process. To be completely transparent, none of that will be in the final product. We will have a full cast with the final product, which no one has been casted as of right now. But none of that AI vocal stuff will be in that final product. So that was definitely one of the most fun ones to write. You're right, it does have that beachy feel, especially because in the background, if you really listen, you can hear the waves and the breeze, and it is beachy.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's a huge vibe for that song. But like I was talking about before, when he gets serious, it goes into that really long bass note. And he still is kind of playful with it, so he says, "You want to ignore me, boom, that's fine." Does anyone else have a song? I think we got time for one more that their favorite character is not in, but is their favorite song.
Yeah, so it's really hard to choose between all of them. Burn's a really good one, but I think I'm just going to go basic and say Here Comes the King, which is the first song of the first album, and specifically the chorus. If Connor's good at doing anything with music, it's like melodies that will not leave your head, and it's a little annoying because for the past couple of weeks I've just been singing
Looking Out for the King.
Looking Out for the King, he's coming. So who sings that song?
That's the E4s.
Okay. Yeah. We kind of call them the council because that's kind of what they are. They advise the king on what to do, especially because they're the ones who receive the oracles from the gods, the messages from the gods. So they guide the king on the correct choice. Or another really cool thing that we're doing in the show, at least. In history, they were a group of these wise old guys that advise the king on what to do and stuff. That's cool, but we wanted to include more vocal range in it. So we're actually having one part for each from a choir. So we have 5 E4s. We have, one at bass. We have one at baritone, one at tenor, one at alto, and then one at soprano. And that adds so much to the music. And you'll hear that in a second, but it just has such a choir feel to it. And the E4s have a few parts throughout the show. They are a smaller role, but whenever they do come in, you feel that choir feel to it. Now, let's take a listen to that real quick. So we're going to listen to the chorus for the first song in the musical, Here Comes the King.
I'm kidding. He doesn't stand a chance. So look out, here comes the king. They quake 'cause he is great. So look out, here comes the king. Bow down 'cause he will say. So look out.
And it does that a second time, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you probably heard there, that's really choiry, to me at least. And there are only 5 vocal parts, so it's not as full as a full choir, but it definitely gives off that vibe. So I think the E4s are going to be an awesome part in the show. The cast is huge. We have about 24 parts, I think is what I counted up last time. And that's with double casting a few characters.
Yeah, it's really 3 shows.
Yes. Seriously, it is a huge cast. You do have a lot of opportunities to be a part of this. When people are looking at auditions and stuff, they're probably going to ask the question, or two questions really. One, what are we looking for? And two, what are the requirements?
I always try and tell people the biggest thing we're looking for is the voice, and a really healthy voice. It doesn't matter what you look like or any kind of identity. We're just looking for the true, really good sound of the character.
So there's really two main things that we're looking for, and somebody can add on to this in any way that they want. First and foremost, it's do you fit this character well? When I think of Ares, do you sound like Ares? And then the second thing I think is just as important, really. It's how committed are you to this part? You know, how much time and effort are you going to spend?
Preparation is actually a surprising thing that comes up when we watch auditions.
Yeah.
The most polite way I can say, we can tell if someone is not prepared.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can just tell, and that really matters for an audition.
Yes. We are not going to close auditions a week after we post them. So these will be open for a long, long time. So please take your time, learn the music, learn the words, really get into what the meaning of the song is.
And have something to say.
Yes,
when you're
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
In almost every single audition that we love and we still talk about, had something to say. Something unique and something that we didn't consider. It's nice to hear these songs come to life and all these different voices, but it's really nice when you hear a new take of something that was really brave and something that worked.
Just keep in mind that an audition is also a first impression.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Plans for the channel. We have some awesome stuff coming up. One that we're actually ready to talk about now is we're going to be listening all the way through Epic. None of us have seen Epic all the way through or heard all of their songs, including myself.
Why haven't you seen it all the way through?
I was really involved in the beginning around tenuous auditions whenever I got inspired and wanted to write my own stuff. And I did not watch it nearly as much because I was constantly working on music myself. Probably, I think we decided we're going to do them in
Saga by saga.
In the sagas.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 9 different videos of us reacting to Epic. We're super excited for it. It's going to be an awesome time. So that's all that we had for you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it through to the end of this, you're amazing. Thank you all so much for your love and support. TikTok being banned is not going to stop us from writing this musical. It's not going to stop us from doing what we love.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because this might be where we're at for a little bit.
Yes.
Especially if TikTok gets banned.
We got Greg in the back. I don't know if you can see Greg, but Greg's right here. He's wearing the Final Stand cap.
Yeah.
We got a phone case, we got a notebook, we got another hat, we got shirts everywhere.
If you like any of this Final Stand branded stuff, do not forget to check our link tree. It is also on the Shopify, which is thefinalstandmusical.com.
You know where you can find the link tree?
Where can I find the link tree?
Down in the description.
Oh.
You can go right there. Look at how convenient.
What else is in the link tree then?
As far as the link tree goes, if you want to support us, obviously you can follow all of our socials. That's a huge help. If you want to support us financially, however, we do have a Patreon page up. Live
Backstage
pictures.
Discord chat shout out.
Yes. Shout out to the Backstage. We have the coffee or the Ko-fi page, whichever one you prefer. We'll see you in the next one, guys. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hashtag the final stand.
Hashtag the final stand.
Hashtag the final stand.
Stand.
Out.